established once seldom any opportunity, has never existed in government, and it's an extremely fragmented community with about 100,000 non-federal government agencies and about 100,000 schools.
Requisition might come from a teacher who needs equipment, athletic equipment. They simply log into Epilon and they're able to go out to quote, get great prices back, and decide where they'd like to make the purchase.
Let's take the best of what Arriba offers and host it and tailor it and offer it to a huge market.
In the public sector, contracts are incredibly important. They determine whether or not someone can or can't purchase from something.
In, let's say, the state of California, there are these set of regulations around bidding and these set of regulations around quoting.
So when I bring them onto Epilon and we talk about how to process quotes and go shopping and look at contracts and go out to PO, all the lingo is in place and they understand that completely.
Let's say I'm going to go buy something, right? I have to have a dollar, that's the instrument of payment. And now what we're dealing with is business process, right? And that is dynamic. And the stuff that Arriba is setting up with dynamic trade, with quoting tools, that's how I am now able to jointly define with my suppliers dynamic processes for purchasing.
Working with Arriba is great because Arriba is constantly pushing the envelope in terms of product development and innovation.
What we liked about Arriba was that they had the solution, they had the technology solution to really provide this architecture that was scalable.
It is a huge amount of infrastructure, from integrating suppliers and maintaining that data to running and hosting the web application itself.
And Arriba will build for me the stuff that's there. Total world-class core competency and the stuff that has the economies of scale and the reach and commonality that all suppliers have to go through.
Epilon is a small company that's growing and not well known in the space. Teaming up with Arriba and others has really taken us up to the next level because we're almost standing on the shoulders of wonderful partners who have the trust, because there's already deployed applications out there among the corporate 2000 as well as the public sector. Has been a tremendous boost, a turbocharge behind Epilon, and really helped us distance ourselves from our competitors in terms of competing for customers. I remember the day the first transaction came through. We printed it out, we framed it, and I believe they were buying pencils.
We went out to quote on pencils, and he was looking for something like 144,000 pencils. He signed on with Epilon. He's from Butte, Montana. We're a small school. We don't have a lot of buying power. Lo and behold, they came in at $800 less than what he had paid for last year.
I saved $800 on pencils.
A small transaction, but yet, for one of the first times ever, our solution was actually being used.
Thank you so much. I never knew this was possible.
It was thrilling. It really was. We all stood around, and I think we all sort of got on the desks and clapped, and we printed it out, and we have it in a frame.
We have reached a stage in internet development, I believe, where the technical standards are evening out. There's still a fair amount of work to be done, but what we're looking at now is process standards. So it is what you would think of as the next layer up in the stack, and people are beginning to converge around a certain set of process standards in e-commerce. And as that group of people converge, they tell their friends, who tell their friends. And then suddenly, without having to do much work, you find everybody else is just jumping on board. And that's the promise, to me, of the Commerce Services Network that Arriba has built up.
Well, in our industry, the future sometimes is a month in advance.
We would not be able to do what we're doing without Arriba.
The process of purchasing, working with government agencies, from I have a need to it's been fulfilled and the payment goes electronically, is not something that Epilon would have been able to build as quickly as we have in a partnership with Arriba.
It just lets me do my business knowing that standards will evolve and develop, and I'm not responsible for everything. Because in high tech, I cannot do it alone.